Hello, welcome to Lazada Insider, featuring knowledge that makes a difference. We share trusted insights, forward looking perspectives, and exclusive expert interviews to keep you ahead of the curve.
Hi everyone, I'm Chen, your host today. An effective fulfillment process is important to the success of your online business. Some research show that delivery costs and services are the top pain point of Southeast Asian consumers when purchasing online. That means having a fast and reliable fulfillment solutions in place will impact your customer satisfaction and therefore long-term growth of your business. However, online commerce fulfillments keep evolving and can seem complex for many sellers and businesses. So today, let's deep dive into some of the common myths about online commerce fulfillment with our special guest, Yao from Lazada. Yao held various products and business leadership roles in technology companies for the past 19 years. Started the e-commerce journey with Lazada 2.5 years back, still as excited as his first day. Now as Group Head of Fulfillment by Lazada, in charge of utilizing the infrastructure and know-how of Lazada Logistics to help sellers to sell more. Hi Yao, welcome and thank you for joining us today.
Hey Chen, thanks for having me.
First of all, you are the Head of Fulfillment by Lazada. Can you please tell us more about your positions and what you do?
Sure. I think to describe my role, first allow me to share about what Lazada Logistics does and why. A little bit of story. I think back in the day when all things e-commerce started in Southeast Asia, the B2C e-commerce logistics was a huge challenge and generally lacking. Lazada Logistics was formed out of the necessity to ensure a good end-to-end experience to our Southeast Asia consumer who buy from Lazada online business. So fast forward 9 years later, Lazada Logistics Network and Solutions have grown leap and bounds, of course, and become one of the few regional one-stop e-commerce logistics provider with one of the most comprehensive first and last mile network. So today we serve more than 100 million active consumer annually, and it's still growing. So however, if you look at, if you read through the recent Google The Massive Report, e-commerce logistics still present as the primary barrier for Southeast Asia e-commerce growth. A lot still need to be done to solve this. So fulfillment by Lazada Logistics, in short FBL, the service me and my team has the privilege to run, was exactly built to offer to merchants and brands whom online sales are bogged down by the logistic hassle and constraint. So today, FBL provides a one-stop tech-enabled e-commerce logistics solutions with a huge network of strategically located fulfillment center, sort center, delivery fleet, together more than 40 over logistic partners that stitched together by our technology and infrastructure to manage our merchants' pick, pack, and ship experience. So provide the necessary transparency to our merchants' inventory movement, the best availability and capacity to manage merchants' campaign pick, fast delivery, and an unparalleled service level at a pay-per-use rate. So I can go on and on, but in short, all the mentions are aimed to provide the best experience to our online customers and consumers and help merchants scale their e-commerce business faster with minimum cost. So specific to my role, I take care of the business development, go-to-market strategy, partnership, as well as new product innovation.
Cool. Thanks for the introductions. Before we deep dive into some of the common myths, can you help us to define what is fulfillment service and why is it important for the e-commerce business?
Yeah, I think this is a very good question to start with. So as everyone know, along with platforms and payments, fulfillment is another crucial element of your success in e-commerce. So e-commerce fulfillment is part of your ecosystem or e-commerce operations that deliver your products to consumer. The process includes inbounding your product into a fulfillment center, put those on shelf. When order comes, pick, pack, and ship of orders, perform inventory management and return processing. So to the second part of your questions, the predictable and accurate fulfillment equals happy customers and positive reviews, which will lead to more sales. So a robust e-commerce fulfillment processes can save you time and money with reduced leakages such as lost and wastages. So in addition, a well-run integrated fulfillment and transport network located near your online consumer will not only ensure faster delivery and lower shipping fees, but also help you to expand your business.
Cool. And now we're going to talk about some of the common myths about fulfillment service. So I couldn't wait to hear your response on this. So first of all, sometimes we hear that the business has these perceptions that fulfillment is expensive. Is it true?
Well, before I get into your questions, first and foremost, I like to point out some obvious, right? So in the market today, there isn't many one-stop e-commerce solution provider in Southeast Asia, given the short history and dynamism of e-commerce in Southeast Asia. So for the sake to guide our conversation later on, let me take the liberties to overgeneralize and put them into three groups, right, on the group. The first group is the traditional 3PL. They are made up by either international players or as well as local player. Many are in the process of or going to pivot from B2B to B2C. The second group is really the platform in-house logistics, such as Lazada Logistics and many other platforms. So their services are centralized around experience of the online consumer. Last of the three group is a tech-enabled fulfillment providers. So many are hybrid 3PL and 4PL. Mostly are new startup, pop up here and there. They are hyper local, providing a very niche service, trying to close the gap. So to come down to your questions about is fulfillment is expensive. So logistics is really a game changer and key differentiator in e-commerce value chain, but it's also a game of scale and generally capex heavy. So we all might argue that a smaller company may benefit more from an in-house order fulfillment while they are small, but scaling in-house fulfillment as the company grow often prove challenging and expensive. So as a general rule of thumb, when a merchant order volume go beyond perhaps 100 orders per day, they can start consider having a fulfillment vendors to keep their overhead manageable, right? Gain the volume discount they have and have the right solution to meet the customer need. I think in addition, the recent study also showed that majority, especially in Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines, more than 50% of the new online consumer are coming from non-metro areas, right? Thailand and Vietnam are also seeing the rise too. So meaning merchant will have to consider their strategy on moving or keeping their stock closer to the tier 2 or 3, or even the rural consumer in order to capture the growth. So merchants have now caught in a dilemma that how to allocate their capital and resources between having a fulfillment network of their own or spend the capital to buy more stock to meet the demand. So there's always way to mitigate the capex challenge. I want to just quickly point out 3 points of it. So merchants or brands can consider work with lots of partners. For example, our networks of fulfillment and sort center are integrated with over 40 delivery partners. So in addition to our own shipping arm, and of course, leverage all the existing logistic ecosystem expertise and then the asset to build your network and leverage on technology to bring all this together, unify all the infrastructures and technology from the ecosystem partners. I think this will bring everything together and lower your capex. So I think in short, the e-commerce operation is really time consuming, right? It consume a lot of energies from the merchants to pick, pack, hand over the pickup or drop off stations, processing the return, etc., and require huge capex and the know-how to scale. So it risks a huge opportunity cost if you're unable to provide good consumer experience. So it's definitely worthwhile to consider leveraging on partnership and technology.
Cool. And how about this? Some business perceive fulfillment service is only cater for big brands.
I think business of all size will do somehow rather in-house or outsource fulfillment, either by themselves or they outsource it. True for some cases that platform in-house logistic or some 3PL would choose to serve a bigger brand name, bigger volume. But today there are more e-commerce fulfillment provider than ever. There's still more come into the Southeast Asia space because of the massive capitals and expert inflow to capture the soon-to-be 55 billion e-commerce logistic market by 2025. So merchants have options at a very low cost. So these circumstances also provide a level playing field, but whereby local brands now have the opportunity to differentiate themselves for providing an excellent customer experience, leveraging on logistic touchpoint with their consumer. So hence, fulfillment service is open to all business, all size and shape. For example, Lazada Logistics, we work with many partners. We believe that e-commerce is an ecosystem rather than just one or two companies. We open our technologies and the unified infrastructures, services to merchants of all sizes, right? From brands to local brands, even to SME. So I think there's a lot of options for business from all sizes to choose from today.
Thanks for the clarifications. So the business worry about that they will actually lose control of their business after using fulfillment service?
Mm-hmm. Well, I think the merchant level of control will depend on which arrangement they have on their fulfillment. Example, the merchant can choose to insource all their fulfillment, which that they do everything themselves. The merchant also can outsource their operations, but control their stock and network. The merchant also can choose to outsource both the operations and network, but control their stock. And I think there's the last part of it. The merchant will outsource everything, fulfillment of their own, all inventories to a logistic company that will optimize the inventory and fulfill orders across locations. So it depends on the choice. It's entirely up to the merchant to decide which type of arrangement will best fit their requirement. But regardless of which of the arrangement, many logistic players in Southeast Asia still operate predominantly manual processes. So passing along papers. So seeing and touching the inventory might give an operator a sense of freedom and flexibility, but it's also highly error prone, unscalable, and easy losing out the end-to-end visibility of the entire parcel journey. So therefore, lack of the control over your consumer experience once the parcel leaves one's warehouse. So this is something to take note of. In our opinion, I think at the most basic level, a logistic player need to integrate three systems: the warehouse management system, the transport management system, and the order management system, which provide the interface to the customer. So from the front end user interface, from the middle layers in terms of the order processing, and the back end, which is the warehouse and the transport system, all these have to be interconnected so that you have true control, true visibilities of the parcel journey. So having an integrated system, whether you insource or outsource merchant, will have a full control, right, of your stock movement and the performance and also the customer insight. So in addition, if you outsource the fulfillment service to a provider like FBL, so merchant can pull out their stock and with an outbound order at any time. So I think the control is there, and the visibility is there as well for the merchant.
Cool. Thank you. So you mentioned customers' experience a couple of times before. So some of the business might think that my customer's experience will drop if I use fulfillment service. Is that true?
I think it's the reverse. So the online consumer expectations usually revolve around price, convenience, and assortment. So some consumers are more willing to trade speed with price and assortment. Some willing to pay a bit more for convenience of faster delivery, timeliness, and reliability, or even some superior unboxing experience. So as a logistic operator, we have to balance between cost, scalability, and flexibility to achieve the experience and price expectation of merchants and the consumer. So today in Southeast Asia, many marketplace merchants are struggling to meet the minimum service level set forth by the platform, right? So on the other hand, the shipping costs are major factors in shopping cart abandonment. So free shipping is one of the primary considerations to make a purchase, right? Speed method also. So many consumers stop order when shipping was too slow. So as free shipping becomes more expected and shipping times continue to collapse, the onus is really have been shifted to the efficiency of one fulfillment network, right? So the obvious solution to provide faster, cost-effective shipping is for merchants to expand their fulfillment network, but this is expensive, right? And the vast majority of the merchant is not at the size that make owning and operating multiple warehouse logical. So option are merchant can outsource or all or some of their fulfillments to a 3PL, but beware that many 3PL also do not have extensive fulfillment network to solve the problem. So managing multiple 3PL along with their own fulfillment center can be very cumbersome, considering many 3PL do not have a technology platform that seamlessly integrate all the multiple warehouses and delivery service provider. So again, I think you're required to scale to achieve the best service level, best cost efficiency with wide network. The more effective and least costly way to achieve this is for merchant to carefully select and work with multiple or one fulfillment partners who have the network and the seamless integrations.
Cool. And lastly, some of the businesses actually think that the process is very complicated. Is it true?
Well, I think there are many options out there depending on merchant supply chain setup and aspirations. A merchant can choose a least risky route, for example, using a platform in-house logistic service such as FPL. You sign up and create inbound orders, pay only when you use. So it's a perfect solution to jumpstart your e-commerce business and scale from there. Or you can go down to an automated route of integrating a merchant's ERP or OMS with a fulfillment partner, a front-loaded process, but saving once the process and system efficiency are achieved over time is probably a more longer-term investment. So this is often a long-term contractual commitments required from the merchants with the 3PL. So there's options on the market. You can choose from a very simple jumpstart process, or you can go for a longer-term process that eventually you will see the benefit in long run.
Sure. So do you have any advice to the businesses in Southeast Asia?
I think first, in our opinion, Southeast Asia is very dynamic. It's a very dynamic market. There will always be competitions or competitor entering the market. So new partners or capabilities become available. And regulation also constantly changing, right? As a result, innovation has to be an ongoing process. So merchants have to innovate, so do their partners. I think secondly, discount can only get you so far. The consumer experience will be the key to differentiate. So in a highly fragmented market, it can be very costly to do everything yourself. Hence, it's important for you to find a partner that can offer an integrated solutions, a flexibility to scale up and down as well, provide the best service quality to delight your consumer, and also have the staying power to stay on in the business for a long period of time. You don't want to sign up to a partner that eventually they get out of business soon. So last but not least, Southeast Asia e-commerce bandwagon is still at the very early stage of growth. So let us make sure that we consume responsibly and run our business in a sustainable way.
Cool. That brings us to the end of today's episode. Thank you very much, Yao, for fascinating and insightful sharing.
It was a pleasure, Chant. So everyone stay safe and shop online. Thanks again for having me.
This is Lazada Insider. We hope you enjoyed this episode. Make sure you click follow and subscribe so you don't miss our latest insights and expert interviews. Thanks again for joining us. Until next time, take care.
Lazada.